Alright, welcome back guys. If it's your first time here, I'm Vision here in Bonner to bring you guys another video taming on over a fury that has been going around the Power Rangers fan base for over a year now. Whether or not Tarik and Santaura or are Amelia's parents. Now, if Power Rangers hunt your instant, don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon, then you miss more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Now, why I say this video is mainly about Tarik and Santaura being Amelia's parents, I'm more basing this off on why Santaura wants revenge on the humans. Now, if you saw the first half of Dino Fury, which is streaming right now on Netflix, you'll know that Santaura mentioned that she wants revenge on the humans. Now, I haven't gotten all my reviews out for the first half. I was trying to get them out. They're all filmed and just need to be edited and everything. I was trying to work to get them out, and this video is gonna come out after all that. But due to international airings happening, I wanted to get this out as soon as possible, just in case something's happened in the second half that could contradict or debunk this theory. So let's go off of this. How could Amelia be related to Tarik and Santaura? Now, first off, we know both characters are from a different planet, because Tarik was working on a ship to make sure that they could leave Earth. Now, if you look at some of the things regarding Amelia, there are definitely a lot of hints that she is not human. First off, if you look back at the festival, while most of the Rangers did not like those cakes that were made, besides Zato and Ion, Amelia was the only one who liked them. Is that not a hint or something? Then in A New Leaf, you got Void Knight, who gets upset when one of the people that are turned to trees is a kid. Again, another coincidence or not? And so then you got the whole thing in season 1 where Pop reveals that Amelia's parents went missing when Amelia was younger. And a lot of fans attribute that to why she kind of became interested in the supernatural and ghosts and everything like that. So what could have happened to her parents? So my theory has always been is that they came down to Earth, say in the late 80s, early 90s, and they were intercepted by Area 62, because they're the modern day Area 61 and stuff like that. So they kind of, what I've always believed is Tarik and Santaura arrived on Earth in the late 80s, early 90s, and they kind of formed an alliance, helped Area 62 and those people. However, once Rita and Zed attacked Earth, you had Area 62 and the humans kind of turned on them, and they were forced to go into hiding. And at that time, you had Santaura, who gave birth to Amelia, but they need to hide their child, and they were being attacked by the humans. So in return, the only person that they felt like they could trust or was sympathetic to them was Pop. So they gave Amelia to him as they tried to go into hiding, and while they were trying to escape and go into hiding, that's how Santaura got injured, and that's why she needed to be put in a cryopod. So that's always how I looked at it. Again, I'm gonna compare it kind of to you might not have seen the movie, but Escape of the Planet of the Apes. Long story short, kind of summary, the apes came back. They kind of were, became friends with the humans. They were, famous and whatnot. But then once the humans found out about the future, how the apes would rise up and replace them, the humans turned on them pretty much and hunted them down and killed them. And the wife of one of the main character had a baby, and they hid it away with the circus performer. This is where I'm going with kind of connecting this theory. Like I said, Santaura and Tarik arrived in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, became friends with the, Area 62 people. Rita and Zed showed up. They were forced to, go into hiding. People turned on them, and they left Amelia with Pop. Now, there are definitely a little couple red plot holes here that people do mention. Definitely probably one of the biggest ones is Lord Zed returning in season 1, and you have Tarik working with him. This is definitely a tricky one. The only thing I'm gonna say is that maybe they would run out when Rita was there and not when Zed was there, so that's maybe why they decided to work together. Like maybe they were forced to go into hiding when Rita showed up, not when Zed showed up, and that's why he kind of works with Zed, because he didn't know about Zed, and they went into hiding and everything. They and you know what I mean. They missed out on the whole Zed coming to Earth, and that's how I see, you know kind of Void Knight or Tarik kind of working with him. He does fear Zed to a point, as we saw, but I think it's just due to the fact that he had heard like the legends of Zed. He knew of Zed. He just didn't know that he had come to Earth. So that's where I go, but that's also one of the theories. But my second theory would be that he just saw Zed as being a means to an end, to someone that could help him and stuff like that. And we also know that Tarik doesn't want revenge like Santaura, so maybe he just said, like I said, saw Zed as someone that could just help him, and just didn't really care. It's definitely a big plot hole, which I can understand fans kind of being upset about. This is just my theory. But we could, there's so many theories going around that how this could work out. Now, another plot hole people bring up is the fact that Tarik had seen Amelia unmorphed during multiple fights in season 1 while he was in his armor, so that would make some issues there, because wouldn't Tarik recognize her? My thing going off about this is, now we know Pop mentioned that her parents went missing when she was young, and we don't know how young she was when they went missing. So say they went missing when she was maybe like 1-2, I doubt Tarik and Centaur are gonna remember the face of their infant or toddler who is now like in her mid-20s. I doubt they're gonna remember what she looks like. That again, that's just my thinking. I know there are people who say yes, parents can remember the face of their kids. I don't totally believe that. It's definitely something I can understand people saying, but to me, I just don't believe that Tarik would recognize Amelia now, 25 years later, from when she was a baby. But again, we don't know exactly when she went missing. I mean, they could have gone missing when she was 5, so yeah, that definitely could be a plot hole. But when you got Pop who says they went missing when she was little, to me, being little or younger always to me sounds like she was like an infant to toddler age. But again, that's just my thoughts, opinions. And this is why I say, Santaura wants revenge. She might see the humans as being the ones. First off, they hurt her and she need to be put in this cryopod, so she probably resents them for that. But also, she could blame them for having to give up her child. Why, she doesn't know where her child is. Maybe she sees them as being resentful, and she wants revenge on them for forcing her to give up her child, forcing her to go into hiding and not being able to raise her child, something like that. It's definitely something I think would be a good twist on the characters, especially with how things are going right now, of both of those characters being corrupted, being by the Sporix. So I could definitely see an interesting plot there, where we know Tarik most likely will eventually turn into the Bronze Knight or whatever it is. So maybe that's something that'll happen, where he'll be redeemed and then he'll find out that, and maybe that'll work as a way where he can try to convince Santaura to come back and not be Void Queen because he found their daughter or something like that. I think that would definitely be an interesting way to go about it. And I think it'd definitely be an interesting plot to put in with Amelia. Pink Rangers are usually not given a whole lot to do with. They're kind of, like a lower person on the totem pole. But I definitely feel like with Dino Fury, Amelia is more up there in the ranks of the Rangers compared to some of the others. Like, Javi is lower ranking. Even though Blue Rangers are usually second in command, I don't see Ollie as being the second in command of the Dino Fury team. Ion, I could see him maybe being argued as being the second in command. You got you got Zato, of course, he's the leader, and you got Izzy, who, of course, and like I said, Javi, they just don't seem like either of them are second in command. Whereas I feel like Amelia is more second in command of the team, especially if you look at a lot of times in season one when Zeta was out of commission or whatever, she was a lot of times the one who would lead the Rangers into fights. So to me, I see Amelia as being more the second in command of the team, but in not like a conventional way where it's, pushed on it. I feel like it's more subtle that she's the second in command, and it would make sense if they put her more in that position and then had this reveal. I definitely think I would definitely think it's something that could happen, and honestly, with the amount of fans who believe that this theory is true, I think it'd be a complete shocker if this theory wasn't true. Like, I think it'd be more of a shock if the theory wasn't true compared to if it was true. I mean, usually I would say it's so like on point that I wouldn't want to see this happen, but it's such a mix in of it could happen, it couldn't happen. But to me, I lean on more the side that it most likely will happen, and like I said, I'd be completely shocked if this wasn't the case. But again, it's just a theory going around. Again, I want to get this out now because of the international sport releases, and this could be revealed within the next few episodes, or it could be debunked or whatever. So again, this is just a theory. If, again, I'm not paying attention to any international spoilers. Again, if you do leave spoilers in the comment section, I will block you. So definitely don't reveal any spoilers that could, debunk this or prove this theory to be right. But definitely, I really do hope this theory is right. Pink Rangers, again, like I said, don't get much to do. So having her have this connection, especially to the villain, would be really cool and different. Something you don't really see in Power Rangers, and something you haven't seen in a long time. The last time I think we saw where a ranger was connected to the villain was in Ninja Storm, where you had Cam be the nephew to Lofor. I think that was the last time you had that connection. So it would definitely be an interesting aspect if you had that here. I really hope that this theory is true, but I know your thoughts and opinions. Are you hopeful that this theory is true? Do you believe that this theory will happen or is true? Would you want to see this theory become true? If not, what do you think happened to Amelia's parents? And I know people might say, maybe something happened. Maybe Pop, is lying to her. Maybe that's something else. I think maybe it could be argued that maybe Pop lied to her. Maybe her parents didn't go missing; they actually did die. It's definitely a possibility, but also you could just argue that Pop lied to her just to, comfort her and make her feel better. So that's just where I stand. Again, though, let me know your thoughts and opinions about this theory. Like I said, do you want it to be true? Do you want something else to happen here? I definitely want it to be true, but let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding why Santaura might want revenge, and continuing on with the theory of Santaura and Tarik most likely and possibly being Amelia's parents. As always, if you guys feel, don't forget to get a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon to get some more Power Rangers content from me moving forward, and go for me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the about section on my YouTube channel. As always, I'm Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.